Women, 21 years old, is virtually raped by a stranger in Metaverse app.
Yeah.
May 26th, yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And you read the story of what direction we're going to. So page 3. Let me read this full article to you. Okay. A woman was virtually raped by a stranger in Meta Horizon World's Metaverse app while another user watched and passed around a bottle of vodka. New reports claims about an hour into using the platform, the avatar was sexually assaulted during a disorientating and confusing experience. The researcher said it happened so fast I kind of was disassociated. One part of my brain was like, what the hell is going on? The other part was, this isn't a real body. And another part was like, this is important research. Horizon Worlds was released by Meta in December and allows users to gather with others, play games, and build their own virtual worlds. You know, this sounds weird to us, let's just say, right? Because I'm 43 and, okay, I'm seeing this happening. But this is very real where we're going.
Of course.
This is the direction we're going, right? So it's going to be, the scariest part about this is if this becomes a crime.
I was just going to say,
if this becomes a crime,
yeah,
then the way to be able to manipulate crime later on, I mean, it just opens it up a little bit too much.
Yeah, like, is there going to be like a now that this has happened? Do they go like to court and like does this Meta person go to jail?
I don't think you can do that. But what I think is interesting is that I had somebody say this is not my idea, so I don't want to steal it. But they said anybody who's buying property on the metaverse is kind of a fool because you can't put a value on an infinite supply of something. The metaverse,
What a sick point.
There's an infinite supply. There's an infinite supply. All it takes is another algorithm, so.
Guys are selling. A guy sent me a message yesterday saying, I got a special land for you for sale if you want. I'll let you make the first offer. My number is $2.4 million. I said, yeah, I'm good, bro. I wish you all the best.
He said this about the metaverse?
Yeah, he's trying to sell me land for $2.4 million. Hilarious. A big NFT guy says, I'll sell it to you for $2.4 million. This is going to be $5 million property. Yeah. I'm like, I'm good. I'm totally fine.
It's gambling.
Yeah.
There might be people. I mean,
I know people who have made real money off NFTs. Of course.
But that's all because it's just like crypto. That's all because even though there isn't much of a if you have Bitcoin, if you want to buy a child or a lot of drugs or a nuclear weapon, I suppose Bitcoin would work. But for the most part, there's still not really there's not a real economy that is girding this or undergirding, whatever the word is. But I do think that isn't, and I don't know, but isn't Bitcoin and all these cryptocurrencies, they are valued because a lot of people are buying them just in case.
But by the way, what he just said has led to a research. I don't know if you saw the article on how Bitcoin is matching with what the stock market does. Meaning, the pattern is now whatever the market does, 79 out of 93 days. If the stock went up, Bitcoin went up. Wow. If the stock market went down, Bitcoin went down. Did you see that article that was texted to you? Did you see that article or no? Kai sent it to us. I don't know if you got it or not. It's a very.
I thought Bitcoin and crypto was supposed to be an uncorrelated asset. I thought it wasn't supposed to be tied.
Did you read this article or no?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it shows. Kai, if you're listening, I don't know if he's listening or not, if he can text it to us, but it matches exactly with what the stock market did.
That article right there, Bitcoin is acting like the stock market, and that's not
No, that's
unusual.
not it. That's 2018. Hey, Kai, do you know the article you sent me about how Bitcoin and stock market are correlating? Can you text it to me? I just sent him a text right now through audio. But it shows. So that right there is not a good sign, by the way. That's not good. Because if
it's mainstream
then it's not good. So then, but the part of it that the Bitcoin community can say it's good is what? Well, guess what?
We're legitimate.
No. Yeah, we're not only legitimate. Bring some of the bigger money, because it's the same thing as stock market. Bring that in, but then you lose your identity of being, we're own
libertarian. We got our own thing going on.
It goes back to what you were saying, though. It goes back to the fact that you're saying this is valued at X, okay. But where is the exchange of goods and services? The dollar I can understand, even though we have quantitative easing and stuff. But for the most part,
you and I decide that though. The market decides the value of Bitcoin.
Yes.
And by the way, I'm not a big. I have Bitcoin and I have Ethereum, but I'm not a guy that's going around telling everybody go buy Bitcoin. Right. But all I'm saying is the market will determine it. What's crazy the last couple of years is that gold is gold is no longer what it was because, like right now, what is the price of gold? A kilo of gold right now, Tyler. If you type in price of gold kilo, what is it right now?
Who wants to guess?
57,000.
Who wants to guess?
59,550. Okay,
that's a lot of money.
my price is 61,000. Okay, so if it went based on what the market was doing,
Yeah.
it should be $100,000. It should be $80,000.
Right.
But the patterns of how gold reacts to what happens to the market is not happening. That 1554, Peter Schiff has been saying that's going to be 5,000 for 20 years. It's eventually going to get to 5,000. So he's eventually going to say, I told you I was right, but 20 years too late of saying I was right, right? Yeah. So there's certain things that's confusing. I think the next 2 years, you almost need the next 2 years to see what moves, what doesn't. So everyone's going to know if Bitcoin goes one direction and then, interest rates go up, Bitcoin goes up, but stock market goes down. That's when the Bitcoin community, right there, look at that. Bitcoin has been trading with the stock market this year, okay? What's the day that he has? Did he just text it to you? What's the number of days? Look at U.S. stocks.
Crazy, dude. Look at that.
Look how close it is.
Wow.
Look how close
But
it is.
that means people are being careful, isn't it? Isn't that because people don't have as much confidence and they want to link it to something that's been proven to be real for a long time?
You mean with Bitcoin or the
Yeah,
stock market?
Bitcoin.
They're calling it digital gold right now. Okay, go to that article. That's the one I want to read. Okay, can you make it a little bigger? Bitcoin has often been linked to a digital version of gold, which for years has been safe haven asset known as a trusty store of value when times have been more uncertain. But the evidence for Bitcoin fulfilling a similar role is hard to find in this year at least. Indeed, the data of 2022 suggests the price of Bitcoin often moves in the same direction as stocks rather than the opposite. Of the 98 trading days we've had so far, Bitcoin and S&P 500 index have moved in the same direction, 73 of them.
Wow.
Wow. So I want to know what the Bitcoin community says to that. While moving in the opposite direction only 25 times. The biggest moves in the stocks, like the U.S. stocks, fell 3.2% on May 9th. Also came the largest moves of Bitcoin for the stats nerds. The correlation between the two has been plus 0.53. Interesting. So
how are you processing that? How should it be moving? Differently?
So you're not unique. You are the stock market. You're not unique. You don't. So versus what I would have wanted to see is if the market goes down the next 6-12 months and they raise interest rates, I'd like to see, if I'm a pro Bitcoin guy, I would want to see Bitcoin go up. I'd want it to go up to 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, 90,000. If it does, they have the argument. The same way as if gold goes up the next 12 to 18 months, because gold is the Armageddon sale, right? The world's coming to an end. You better own some gold. Brian, you got to put it aside. 5% of your portfolio, go buy some gold and set it aside. But if it doesn't go that way, then the gold audience that's selling gold, their argument is their own investors are going to be like, hey, John, you told me the last 8 years, if the interest rates go up, gold's going to go to 5,000. It's still at 1550. What the hell is going on? Well, what's different about this time, they lose the argument.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.